Good evening, curling fans from Belleville and around the world. Welcome to TSL's coverage of the BrokerLink Mixed 2019 Provincial Championships, coming to you live from the Quinte Curling Club. My name is Barb Williamson, and I'm joined by Rebecca Wickersher, a three-time junior mixed participant. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thanks so much, Barb. Very excited to be back here for our second draw of the day. Beautiful Wednesday here in Belleville, Ontario, and we're back on Sheet 2 here at the Quinte Curling Club. Our feature match this evening is going to feature Team AULD from the Dundas Valley Golf and Country Club, skipped by Kathy AULD. Third, Brandon Corbett. Second, Lori Eddy. And lead, Jess Bayshard. And their opponent from the Ilderton Curling Club is going to be Team Tuck, skipped by Wayne Tuck. Third, Kim Tuck. Second, Wes Forget. And lead, Sarah Gatchell. So another exciting matchup here this evening.
Should be a good one, and even though we're early on in this event, Rebecca, we do have some standings to share with you. The Tuck team is in a pack of four undefeated teams. So after one game, their record is 1-0, and they are tied with Team Bowser, Hegstad, and Buke. And then teams Bolton, Villard, and Auld and Collier are 0-1. So as you mentioned, this should be a good game. It's early in the event; they're still getting used to the ice, and from what we've observed so far, it's been awesome.
Oh yeah, real interesting sheet here during our first matchup. Also got some other great games going on here this evening over on Sheet 1. We'll see Don Bowser up against Dave Collier. Sheet 3, John Buke against John Bolton. And over on Sheet 4 is Damien Villard and Corey Hegestad. So some more great games, and going to be a good first evening here.
It's true. This is a round-robin format, so each of the teams will play each other once. So after 7 games, we'll take the top 3 teams, and ties will be broken by head-to-head competition and perhaps even the draw to the button scores. So as they practice here to determine who will have the last rock, they all know how vitally important the draw to the button is. Even though it's for last rock advantage and it's in the game that they're playing in, these scores are accumulated throughout the 7 games and really could come down and play an important role for when the playoff picture is determined.
Oh, it sure does. We touched on that a bit in this afternoon's draw. And again, as these teams start to get further away from each other in the standings, again, we're only 1 game in, but they are very important, not just for the game that you're playing right now, but down the road they keep track of all these as well. And each player does get an opportunity to throw. So again, each of those stones very important and allows all the players to get a shot at it.
So this is the Tuck team's draw to the button, and it looks like they have earned the last rock advantage. So Team Tuck will have hammer in the first end, and they outdrew the AULD team by probably about a foot. So the AULD team were just almost 3/4 in the 4-foot. So it will be game on soon here. They're just having the handshake right now and wishing each other good luck. And yes, so as we mentioned, Team Tuck will have the last rock advantage in the first end. So these people, they know each other well. These teams, the ladies play against each other and on the same team in some cases competitively. Same thing with the guys, and then they mix it up at this time of year, so they're very familiar with each other as opponents.
Oh, certainly, and mixed is definitely a different atmosphere than your men's and women's play, and it gives a great opportunity for these players to get to play against people they don't normally get to play against, and adds a bit of an interesting dynamic into it as well. You've got a lot of different relationships up there, Kim and Wayne, husband and wife, and on this sheet now, so lots of across all 8 teams here, there's some interesting relationships, and it makes for some great curling.
And on our sheet, Kathy AULD is the only female skip here this week, so she again, that's another different dynamic. So now we have a guy throwing lead instead of the woman on the team, so and a guy playing third and calling line in the house for skips rock. So it's just something that's different from all the other teams in this event.
Yeah, very interesting.
Kathy's a very accomplished skip, so it's and it only makes sense that she would skip this the mixed team.
Absolutely.
So she's just making her way down to the other end here. Wayne's already down there, and we're just getting ready to throw the first rock here in draw 2 of the mixed event. The winner of this, of course, will represent Ontario at the Nationals, and the Nationals for this event is played in the fall of the following year. So sometime around November, I think, it'll be they'll represent Ontario at the Nationals. I don't know if it's determined yet.
I was checking this morning. I think they've announced it's going to be out in Winnipeg.
Okay.
But I couldn't find the dates exactly. But a real great opportunity. Team Tuck here has made it there before, so they know how to do it, and Team AULD's going to be fighting for that chance as well.
So there looks like we might be in for a bit of a clean end here, Rebecca, with the first rock slipping into the rings. They'll probably just throw them up and down here and get a feel for the ice and do some ice reading, because as we also mentioned in our previous broadcast, the teams spend all of their 7-minute practice throwing draws in a determined path so that they can earn that last rock advantage. So they don't throw any takeouts in practice anymore.
A lot of them don't know, especially with that draw to the hammer, like we said, being so important. A lot of them focus the majority of their practice learning that path, breaking it down. But we'll see. We ended up, last game, the first end, we ended up seeing a corner guard, so we'll see what happens. Lead Jess Bayshard up his second stone.
So that is really floating out there. You may miss it altogether.
Really fell out on him.
We noticed some paths earlier in our earlier game that run extremely straight.
And that was one of them out there. He got even further out, I think, than we saw all game last game.
Yeah,
but
they threw the other turn for the most part in our previous game. So we do know a little bit about this sheet. If we have some information we could share if anybody asked us.
I don't know. Never thinks to ask us.
I actually spoke to the other event that's going on simultaneous to this is the senior mixed, and I actually did speak to one of the senior teams that was playing on this sheet, and they asked me what it was doing, so they have the right idea.
Yeah.
No, not. I mean, there were people that I know from my home club, so. I guess they felt comfortable asking me a question like that. So Red are sitting too early on in this end. And they do have hammer, so.
Yeah, some nice draw weight there in the first end from Sarah.
It's nothing better than picking up a 2 in the opening end.
Yes.
In an 8-end game. So a good roll, just by virtue of the fact that it places the rocks a little closer together. And at some point, if Team Tuck don't get rolled back over to the other side, there may be an opportunity for a double.
Wayne had them on this one right away.
Yeah, so he was calling for the roll to the other side, so that's just an indication of how much curl they're getting in the spot. So just as I mentioned, here they are. The rocks are grouped, and there is an opportunity here for a double.
Exactly. That's what Kathy was hoping for.
So she must have seen something in she's thinking that this is going to fall, but it may not have been in Jess's delivery at all. It may be something that she thinks the ice is doing out that far. Because look at where she's got the broom.
She's actually given touch negative ice, so thinking it's going to fall out towards the edge of the sheet.
And you heard her call out the number 9, so that's an indication of the weight she would like Lori to throw. So and that's the time between the hog lines. Look at that. That is
still falling.
Yeah. So we did not see that earlier because
No.
we didn't see any interns on that far out in the wings. So it looked, she called the sweepers on, and as soon as the sweepers got on that, it actually started to float out on them.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep their eye on that spot for sure. So it gives Wes here with his second stone the opportunity to split the house again, trying to keep their rocks as separated as possible.
Back here if we can. Or here.
I'm going to keep this rock high in the rings, just so that there's no cross house double here. Kathy's still going to want to hit and roll over to the other side, though.
Third, Brandon now with his first stone on this one right away.
He's going to get a big roll on this one.
Good.
That's a great shot.
Wow.
That is a
Well
great
done.
double.
Good line call there from Kathy as well.
I don't think she thought that was there when,
Yeah.
when she made the call, but it certainly worked out in their favor.
Control.
So now that this is going to be in a little bit closer to center, so it's not not as out in the 12 foot as those other ones were where we saw the rock floating. Again, they didn't even think of going to the other turn, eh?
Yeah, still just putting the broom in the center of the rock.
Hard! Hard! Hard, right up, Wes. Gotta go. Real hard. Okay, you throw.
Just that little bit further inside, they got some curl on it. Just gonna roll out of the rings.
Interesting. So there's just a spot out there in the 12 foot where it's just a bit off, and they'll have to
so.
make note of that, and we will too. So that opportunity for an early deuce has now disappeared. And now Team AULD will be playing to try and force this Team Tuck to take a single.
Bring it as tight as you can, and yep. Hard.
That's going to end up being a guard.
Yeah. Pretty high one.
Oh, Wayne's going to take an opportunity here and try and get his deuce around that.
Pretty offensive call here in the first end.
He's a little wondering where to put the broom here. Seen a whole bunch of different things on this sheet already.
We sure have.
Okay, close. Yep. Yep. Whoa.
Line looks pretty good on this.
Okay, line's good.
Finishing nicely.
Yeah, go back.
Like to
Back
keep
here.
it
Yep.
ahead of the tee line.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it almost
Just slips behind.
peeked out the other side. That's some really good finish.
Yes.
It's fully exposed on this side. Actually, they didn't see any of that in practice. It's kind of interesting that when we were talking about how important the draw to the button has become for Hammer, you lose the benefit of ice reading now in that 7 minutes. It used to be able to, Skip used to be able to stand there and concentrate and, on different paths, but now it seems to be going the way of the dinosaur here.
Yeah, it's definitely a fine line that a lot of teams walk. Most of them sit down at the beginning of the season and say, what is it that we want to get out of this 7-minute practice? And if it is to win that draw to the button, then it does mean sometimes foregoing getting a read on some of the other paths.
Yeah, now you're spending the first end trying to get that education. And sometimes it can be, you know, the cost could be giving up a big end.
Absolutely.
So nice takeout there by Kathy with her first. It didn't do anything crazy. It was, you know, pretty, just going to throw board weight here. And
Wouldn't mind rolling like a rock your way, Steph?
he's calling for to roll away a bit. I guess he just doesn't want to leave that the opportunity for Kathy to come down and freeze on something in the back of the forefoot.
Exactly. The more it's behind that center guard, if she ever did choose to freeze to it, then he's really forced to his single point.
This is not moving.
Right up, Brandon. Right up.
He might get it. He's going to get a piece. He's going to roll real wide.
Still hung on in the full 12-foot there. Nice soft weight.
So Kathy's going to want to stick their shooter here. She doesn't want to give him a free pass at the blank here. So this is a spot that's right on the cusp. Is it going to curl or is it going to run straight?
Yeah, a little touchy here.
Looks like she threw a little bit more weight than Wayne threw.
Yeah, just that little extra weight.
Yeah.
She threw a 10. I think the one we saw that came up out there was just board, so Wayne will have free shot at the blank.
And he needs to use this moment to read another path in the ice. It's going to be, you know, a firm enough way to probably maybe not a full-scale takeout, but he needs to take this opportunity to see what it's going to do here when the broom is on the edge of the 8-foot. It's not just to close your eyes and throw the rock away here.
So it will be a blank end here in the first. Team Tuck versus Team AULD. Team Tuck will carry the hammer over into the second end.
So there is a home team playing here out of the Quinte Curling Club, and they've just wrapped up their first end, and the locals here are cheering them on. So.
They've got quite a crowd. It's great to see.
They scored one, so that score after one end on sheet 1 between Don Bowser and the local here, Dave Collier. Dave is up 1-0. So Kathy's calling for the first rock in again. So she doesn't want to mix it up yet.
Stops just on the tee line.
Nice draw.
Mm-hmm. And the corner guard coming up from Wayne Tuck. Sarah Gatchell's first stone here.
Hey, right here.
Good shot there from Sarah.
So Jess Baychard, the lead for the Kathy AULD team. His hometown is Brantford, Ontario. That's where he was born. And he now lives in London.
Nice shot.
If you do this, it's okay too.
Perfect.
Wayne just calling for the freeze. Leads Sarah Gatchell up again. Originally from Truro, Nova Scotia. Now lives in Strathroy, Ontario.
So a couple of ways that these teams earned their way here. There were 3 regular qualifiers, an East, a West, and a Central, and then a challenge round. And Team AULD made their way through the West qualifier that was held in the Grimsby Curling Club, and they came out the A side of that event, and they defeated none other than Team Tuck. So this is a rematch of their qualifier game.
Exactly.
Lori Eddy throws second stones for the AULD team, and she was born in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. So we have
there you
some
go.
Maritimers here, and she now lives in Dundas, Ontario. One of the things we see in mixed curling is the 2 male sweepers. You see that when you have a female skip. Just pretty rare.
Yes.
So Lori gets the benefit of having 2 guys sweeping her rock.
Yeah. It's like here.
Wes Forget looking for a peel.
Yep.
Wes is a new addition this year to the Tuck team.
That'll work.
The other 3 having played 17 years together.
Holy smokes. It's longer than some marriages.
Pretty impressive. Yes, and it's normally Sarah's husband, Jake Higgs, I believe, that plays with them. He wasn't able to play this year. But Wes, originally from Bowmanville, now lives in Kingston, Ontario. He works at Queen's University.
Oh, so they're spread all over the place. Dundas, London, Kingston. Oh no, the Kingston is the... That's a good shot.
Good shot.
That's 10.5.
Just control. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. You like board or control? Control.
So this is Brandon Corbett, the vice on this Kathy AULD team.
Yeah.
And he was born in Rochester, New York. So an American that's come up to now live in Hamilton.
Okay, close. Yep. Hard.
Oh, this is curling.
Quite a bit.
Okay, whoa. Okay.
Wow, that was an opportunity for them to sit
Sure,
too.
we're taking more ice until last week. So I know.
10.
Just, it curls on that side.
Wayne just talking to Kim about that shot.
Curling on that side.
And we did notice that this afternoon too, that there's quite a nice curl from the center line to the wings on that side.
Absolutely.
On this side of the center line with just board.
Don Bowser got caught a couple times on his draws, but even that hit curled quite a bit.
And actually, Kathy got to go to school on that.
Yes.
and their shot worked out perfectly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, control.
So quickly updating the other sheets. On sheet 3, Jonathan Buke versus Team Bolton. And
Hard, you gotta go.
the Buke team picked up a big 3 spot in the first end.
Hard! Right up, little roll.
And on sheet 4, Villard versus Hegstad.
That works.
And Team Villard picked up a single, so it's 1-0 there. Team Villard.
9.
Good shot from Kim here on our sheet.
Yeah, she certainly got everything moving there.
Okay, that was my fault. I thought it was gonna.
Wow,
Just missed
gonna
the
get
double.
it. Oof, they do sweep it far enough, though. They may be sitting 2. No, just
That's
1.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
So Kathy, taking ownership for that. She really thought she was going to run a lot straighter in that spot.
Here. Or try the double. Here? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want to play the double. Normal.
That yellow one in the back of the 12-foot is shot stone, so trying to remove it by making the double on the one in the top 12-foot.
The long distance between those 2 rocks.
Whoa! No.
She got a
Kim's,
little full on that one.
Yeah.
Never! No! No roll. Sit.
And she rolls out. Is not able to hold the shooter.
I don't know if we wanna. Maybe we just go around here, eh? Like here. I think it should go.
So Team AULD trying to put some pressure on Team Tuck here by trying to bury one around that corner guard.
I don't think it'll curl the other way.
Yeah, again, she's still shot rock in the back of the house. Opportunity to lie 2.
Very 8.
Gee, you want to make sure that you're not behind the tee line on this shot.
I always get a little bit nervous drawing around corner guards when you don't have the hammer, but
Yeah.
The good news is it's yellow.
exactly, yeah.
At least if Team Tuck decide to run it back, they'll be running back an opposition's stone. So Kathy Ault, skip of this team from the Dundas Valley Golf and Curling Club, born in Toronto, lives in Toronto. Toronto girl.
Lots of room. Whoa! No! Go, Jess! Whoa!
Looking pretty
There's
good.
that finish.
Just doesn't want to be deep. Well done.
Pretty good spot. Nice shot.
So he'll have, the only thing Wayne can do here is corner freeze on it. They should be able to force the single here, or
They were yelling they needed to go to.
it'll depend. A lot will depend on this. He doesn't want to bounce off, obviously. This is Wayne's first draw of the game. And this is actually a path that was not involved in the draw to the button because they both draw from the outside into the center. So you just heard him ask, is it the same as the draw to the button? But it's how, you know, it's hard to say.
Yeah, exactly. He's hoping his sweepers got a good read on the stone Kathy just threw and
Line's good.
able to tell him how hard he needs to kick out of the hack.
Line's good. Room. Whoa.
Does not want to bounce off here.
Whoa.
Get ours out of the way. Get ours out of the way.
Kissed it a little bit.
Yeah, and he's popped it into the open. Kathy will be able to see all of it.
Yeah. I think just board.
Maybe not all of it, but if she throws it, she's talking about throwing board weight here, so they'll get a good amount of curl here. She said, heard her say she'd like to hit it on the nose.
Got the whole thing.
Certainly doesn't want to hit it high.
Well, I was
Yes.
thinking board.
I think she could see probably all of it. I'm kind of directly behind it, and looks pretty open.
Good shot of it there.
So really good opportunity here to sit 3 and really put the pressure on Team Tuck to earn a single.
Go. Yeah. Yes. Hard. Hard. Hard.
This is on the guard.
Hard. Yes. Hard.
Oh, she just squeaks that by.
Great sweeping.
Great sweeping for sure. He jams it, but it's okay.
Great sweeping.
Gets away with the jam. That was
Wow.
awesome sweeping. I'm right, like I said, I'm right behind it. I thought she was on the guard.
That was really curling.
Maybe it was hack instead of board.
Great shot there from Kathy. Did jam it, but still lying 2, so forcing Wayne to make this draw to the 4-foot for his single point.
Yeah, there's no way he could make a double on that, even though he has 2 other red counters in the rings. He just could never get enough of it to remove both of them.
No.
Okay, just T-line.
So big shot here against 2.
Line's good.
Even though you don't want to take 1 when you have the hammer, you also don't want to give up 2 when you have the hammer.
Yes.
So they're just dusting it in here.
Good judge there from the sweepers, and it will be a single point for Team Tuck here in the second end. So that'll put the score at 1-0. And Team AULD going to have the hammer for the first time this game here in the third end.
Yeah, we thought we'd be in for a close one, and that's what we're seeing here. Looks like they've caught onto the ice fairly well, especially with their draw weight. Both skips made really nice draws.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Both teams playing well so far.
So they had a nice opening ceremonies celebration here after the first 2 games of the day, and
Line's
had
good.
the traditional piper here, and it always gives me goosebumps when I hear that.
Oh, I love it.
It's a nice feeling to walk out onto the ice with the piper playing. It's always favorite part of the event for me.
Oh, yeah, it never gets old.
No, it doesn't.
Had a great MC out there this evening, and they piped both the teams from this event and the teams from the senior mixed event all on together at the same time.
Well, we were talking about the event, you and I, Rebecca, and I've been to a lot of them, and he was the best master of ceremonies I've ever seen at
He was
an
excellent.
opening ceremony. He was very good. He was engaging, and he talked with all of the teams, and he must have did a bit of homework.
I think so. Yes.
It was quite enjoyable. We could hear him. They were mic'd into the lounge here, and it was very good.
Just slipped a bit heavy there. into the back 12 foot. So Sarah going to get a chance to draw around her center guard.
Yep. Yep.
So they found a spot they like on this side of the sheet.
Line's good.
Yeah, this spot seems to be pretty consistent for
Line's
them.
good. You got room. No, no, it'll work. It'll work. It'll work. It'll work. It'll work. Yep. Go, Kim. Yep, 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 yep. Touch center. Touch center. Go, go, go. Okay, Sarah.
Nice throw. Didn't quite get buried, but tucked a piece.
Yeah, it looks like it does a lot of curling once it's in the house.
Okay, whoa.
Yes, in that spot, it's a very late finish.
Whoa, whoa. No. 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 Yeah, down's good right now. Whoa. Yep,
That's sailing in there pretty good. It's going to be right to the one in the rings. It's going to give it a little tap.
Good shot.
Good adjustment there from Jess.
Yikes.
Wes here with his first stone.
He's very, very wide of it.
Yep. Yep.
I think they're going to go around it.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa. That's fine. Just got to try and fluff it. Touch it. Yeah, that's good.
Just wants to touch it to save it, yeah.
That finish is so late when you're a bit up like that.
And he
It's,
was heavy, yeah.
Yeah, back line.
So Team AULD, having the hammer, are going to take this opportunity to get rid of that center guard. So asking for a 10 weight, so that would be the elapsed time between the hog lines. It's like a control type of weight.
Yeah, some teams like to use control normal weight. Some teams like to say 10 or a 9. Every skip has their own preference.
I like the numbering system because if it's very loud out on the ice service, sometimes it's hard to get your message of control or normal. And you know, you see the teams that use hand signals, or the numbers seem to come out above the regular sound of sweeping calls and whatnot out on the ice. So it's real easy to hear 9 or 10.
Yes.
And similarly, they call for a 3 or a 4 when if it's a draw.
Mm-hmm.
You like that?
It's a little bit more precise as well using the numbers. I know Kathy as a skip likes to use 9-5, for instance, as well. So something in between a 9 and a 10. Don't always have words for something in between a control and a normal weight. So it lets her be more precise of exactly how much weight she's looking for.
Yeah. And teams practice this, so they know that, you know, what it represents for them.
Hard! Hard, you gotta go!
And, you know, even though they're not all from the same area, they do, if they practice on their own or with their other competitive teammates from either their women's teams or their men's teams, they practice their 9s and their 10s, and they know how hard to push out of the hack.
I think it's easier to cross it. So just 10.5.
And often it's difficult. I don't know how you find this as a sweeper. Well, it's not difficult. It's nearly impossible. If you're sweeping, you can't be timing between the hog lines because you're busy doing something else. So it actually falls on the responsibility of the skip to gather that information, because they're down there. They can see both hog lines, and that's information that in this case, Kathy will communicate to Lori and say, well, you threw a 10-9 or you threw a 10-2. And that's because she's in a position to time that.
Exactly. Very valuable information for the thrower.
Especially if you don't make the shot. You say, oh,
Certainly.
what happened there? Was I heavy? Was I light?
Yep, yes! Yep!
Wow.
Ah.
She got that right off the face.
Just picked it.
Yeah.
This way.
Okay.
Normal.
So we haven't given any, we can update sheet 1. Team Bowser have tied up the score. 1-1 there now, and in the other games they are all in the third end, but they haven't posted their end number 2 results. So we'll update you as soon as we're able to.
Whoa. 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 Yep. 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 Whoa. Whoa. Hard. Whoa. Real good.
Nice shot there from Kim.
Yeah, edging
Good
their way
double.
over to that corner, eh?
Yeah, Kathy's okay with that. She's going to try and roll behind here.
Just forward. Forward.
Heads up, Cal.
I saw that rock just come scooting across from the other sheet, and
Yes,
Wayne-
came in from
Wayne made
sheet
the
1.
save.
Yeah.
you always have to be aware of that when you're playing somewhere where there are no boards in between the sheets. Every time you hear a rock making contact with another one, you look around to see if something's not making its way towards you.
Go, 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 go.
Certainly.
Ah, okay, that's good.
Just needed that to curl just another inch.
Yeah, Brandon didn't quite get the roll. Really close.
Control.
Still available, but it could jam on that back red one. It's just, he's got all of it, or Kim's got all of it.
I think trying to roll her shooter over to the other side of the rings a little bit.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa.
This may roll out.
Okay.
Away it goes, which gives Team AULD a chance to go around that corner now.
Yeah, really wanted to stick that in the rings.
Okay, you can throw.
I don't think it's gonna go in here.
So they're worried about the finish, and
Split, that's fine too.
so the tap is the call, or the split.
Yeah, I think she called for the nose tap, said split's okay.
Funny, they don't think they can get the finish in here with a draw.
Yeah, it's curling so hard off the center line on the other side, but
Whoa. Whoa.
we'll see how this one does.
Yes. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Nice.
That's one way to do it.
Wow, that was well done. Perfect
shot.
weight. It's dead buried. Looks like the only choice that
Whatever.
Team Tuck have here is a run back double.
Problem is the play, like you gotta go in, like you gotta be close to the center line. You can't sit there, right? So
Yeah.
Wayne Tuck here with his first stone.
Whoa, close. Yep. Hard. Hard. Yes.
watch the back end.
Oh, very well done.
Great shot.
I think now that
He
it's
does
so
leave the
far,
guard.
you can try it.
So they have no choice now. If they want to get in behind there, they need to draw,
A little bit further
because they
over.
can't afford to touch that red rock, which isn't theirs. So interesting, Kathy wears her glasses. I just noticed this. She wears her glasses while she's calling the game, and she takes them off when she comes to throw.
Yep.
I had not noticed that before. I mean, even if it doesn't finish, it could go to that back one.
Yeah, definitely. She could be all the way back there. Looks like she is a bit up.
Might be anyhow.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, it actually curled past it, but
Yeah.
and it's biting.
Not very much. Yeah, okay. Not really curl it very much though.
Or maybe not. It's difficult to tell from. Looks like Wayne's going to take the same path. Try and force her to a single.
What's that? I don't know. Do we need to? No. I mean, if we happen to get to it, we'll get to it, but try to just bury it.
So Kathy's rock did curl enough, so she was right that now that that guard is over a little further, that they would get more finish in that spot. Just was a little heavy.
Yes, absolutely. So Wayne looking,
Yep.
trying to
fine.
bury his stone now.
Hard.
This one's curling a little bit earlier.
Whoa, room!
It's really, really fast in this spot. Look at this
I
one. It's
think so.
sliding as well.
That's good.
Wow. But mission accomplished.
Yep, Kathy not really able to remove that stone, so just going to draw for her single point.
That path that we like. I guess we could just go the same path. Here, Brandon, just throw the same path.
Yeah, this is a pretty good call, you know, and she just threw it, and you don't ever really want to throw to backing, but if she's not comfortable with draw weight in the middle, this is the safest call.
Yeah, you don't really need to be taking a new path unnecessarily. She did take an inch or two more, which I like, just because all those other ones were heavy. They're almost backline weight, so if she's only throwing T-line.
And it does get keener as you continue to throw in the same path. It just gets keener and keener, so you do have to be aware of that as well. This looks pretty good, though.
No problem there from Kathy. So Team AULD will score a single point here in the third end to tie things up at 1 apiece. Team Tuck going to have the hammer playing the fourth end.
So we expected a good close game, and I think we are being treated to that very thing.
We are. Lots of nice shots being made.
So we have one other update over on sheet 4 between Villard and Hegstead. They blanked the second end, and then Team Hegstead scored 2 in the third end. So the score there is 2-1 in their favor. And still nothing from on sheet 3.
So Kathy asking for this one in the rings again.
Yeah, she doesn't go much for the offense. She's giving Wayne a chance to keep it clean. So
Just bites the top 12 foot.
now, can he hit it and be outside the
Control.
rings?
I think so, just right on the nose.
Whoa.
So Team Tuck
Yep.
lead.
Yep.
Sarah Gatchell, as I said, her
Whoa.
husband Jake Higgs
Okay,
normally
whoa.
on this team, and
Yep.
he's actually a
good,
USA
good,
high performance curling coach. head coach of mixed doubles team down there. So they actually both got to head to Pyeongchang as well this year. So that was a big highlight for them, I think.
So Jess Béchard, his hobbies, I have to admit here, he didn't put any hobbies on his sheet. And so one of his teammates took the liberty of adding some hobbies.
Oh, geez, I wonder who that was.
And she says in his spare time, he likes salt and pepper shaker collecting. And he's also an expert watermelon seed spitting.
Wow.
He's actually a champion at that. So beware,
Maybe
if
we
you
can
do not
test
put
them
your
later.
hobbies in, what can happen? He is a 2017 Ontario Silver Tankard champion. I think they just won that. Well, that would have been last year, but that's a 2-team event that the men play in.
Yeah, it's a really interesting event. There's a few gentlemen here playing that won this year, West Forget sweeping there being one of them.
Jonathan Buke on the next sheet.
Yeah, Scott Chadwick as well.
That's good.
Sarah just hitting right on the nose.
So Lori Eddy, in her spare time, likes hiking, baking. She likes art and golfing, and oversharing.
Oversharing.
I'm sure there's a story there. Have to ask her about that.
Yep. Yes. Hard.
An interesting fact about Lori is that she's a podcaster, and she also is a TSL commentator. And
Yes,
I worked with her actually at the senior event.
I was going to say some of our dedicated viewers out there would recognize her voice.
Yes, she is part of this, half of the 2 girls in a game combo.
Control.
West Forget up now. As I said, won the Ontario Silver Tankard this year.
Yep. Hard.
He also went to the Travelers
Hard. Right
Nationals
up, right
as
up,
Team
right up.
Ontario in 2016. He skipped a team
Good.
from the Cataraqui Curling Club.
Okay.
Ended up winning gold out at Nationals, actually.
Yes. Hard. Hard. Right up. Go. Hard. 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 Hard.
Wow, they saved that.
Did they ever? Just hangs around in the 12-foot.
Huh?
Control.
Still enough room there for West to try and roll his shooter underneath.
Visually it is.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good.
So the roll partially buried. Kathy's going to have to play the top one, otherwise she would roll out. So she's asking Brandon for a 9, which is a normal weight takeout shot.
Okay.
So Brandon has some great curling achievements. He's played in the U.S. Nationals in 2014, 15, and 16,
Wow.
and U.S. Junior Nationals in 06, 08, and 2010. And then he moved right on up here and went to the OCA Mixed Provincials in 2017.
Awesome.
Just carried right on.
Okay. That's fine.
See if that shooter just hung on in the side of the 12-foot there. Couldn't quite remove the red from in the rings, though.
Normal.
So Team Tuck gonna try and just nose that in lay 2. As I mentioned, they've won this event in the past, 2002, 2009, and 2017, so fairly recently, just before Team Anderson.
Some big gaps in there.
Yeah. Well, they have been together for 17 years, so they Kim's family-owned business, Canada Curling Stone Company, also manufactures curling stones, so that's pretty interesting.
It is. Yeah, I was talking to one of the club members here, one of the board members, and he was saying that they're going to take a look at their rocks while they're here this week. They're
Oh, excellent.
have them give their expert opinion on their rocks, you know, even though they're out there throwing them.
Yeah. I'm sure every club she goes into,
Yeah.
she has a unique perspective.
Okay.
So removes that red stone, but
Jake will love this
can't
one.
roll his shooter into
Right
the
there.
rings.
So, you know, Wayne's just asking Kim, they want to put a guard up, but guarding a rock in the top 12, probably not the best play. So it looks like they're going to draw another one in around the tee line. Try and force the situation here.
Anywhere here is fine.
One thing I didn't mention about Brandon, when he's one of his hobbies is a singer. He's an a cappella singer.
Wow.
Cool.
Jake's at home.
I'll have
just
to
told
ask
you
him
four.
for a tune later.
If we hit and roll to there, it's not bad. I think just here, right?
Throw.
So Kathy's going to play a hit and roll here.
She's trying to group hers
Hasn't
in.
given up on her two.
Yeah.
10 and try and roll over there.
Hoping if she can put hers in front of Team Tuck's other red stone, it's going to make it difficult to remove. Maybe they would jam it back there.
Yeah, so
Hopefully
sure,
generate
fingers
her
up on my
two
collar.
that way.
No, that's fine there. Way back here is fine.
So Kathy's hobbies include, other than curling, boating, swimming, skating, and decorating. So she knew enough to put some hobbies in there.
Oh, close. No. No. Whoa, okay. That's fine.
Just going to get the nose.
He may need a little roll here to get on the rings.
I
Control.
think so.
Otherwise, the blank will be in play.
Nose should stay in.
Oh,
Okay, so
There
you
you
just
go.
confirmed.
answered our question for us.
Just control.
So Kim and Wayne done very well in this traditional mixed format, but also really
You get a
well in
small
the
roll
mixed
inside,
doubles
real good.
format. One of the great teams here in Ontario, they won the Canadian mixed doubles in 2014 and won the Ontario mixed doubles in 2018. So really great at that event as well.
They were
No, no,
doing
no, no,
mixed
no.
doubles when it wasn't the rage.
They sure were. They're some of the pioneers of that sport.
Yep.
Yeah!
And he gets a beautiful roll.
Good shot.
Two choices, right?
Force Kathy
That
to either the open draw.
Brush.
or this.
Wow.
Okay.
She's going to make a pass at the double here to blank. Oh, it's gutsy.
That's fine.
Oh, sorry, she doesn't have last
Yeah.
rock. Sorry.
Everybody's got to stop.
I was thinking this was last rock.
Everybody's got to stop throwing, Danielle's
I
yelling.
thought it was a pretty strange call.
Here. well, you won. You won.
Danielle's like an octopus.
It's a big shot. If she doesn't make it, she's going to give up too.
Yeah, it's not the most natural double.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Oh,
Nothing.
it's probably gonna get the other way.
Whoa.
Wow, she got nothing.
Okay.
Just a piece.
Just enough to get it out. So it'll be a free draw for 2 for Wayne Tuck.
All right. We're on break. That might be a couple breaks.
It's I'm just reading through her bio here, and her proudest moment in curling was when her daughter won Junior Ontario's.
Oh, that's sweet.
I love that when they, when we read people saying, oh, their proudest moment was curling with their father or their mother.
Yes.
In this case, it was celebrating her daughter's accomplishment. That's really, really nice.
Such a family sport. Both her daughters, Courtney and Kayla, still juniors in this year coming up. Courtney also plays for Queen's University, so I'm sure, and I know Wes
guys,
is
gotta
involved
go.
in the program out there, so
You got to go.
little connection there.
Yeah. There's the same spot here that we
Keep her going, Wes.
earlier today. The
Keep her
Villard
going,
team
Wes.
had a chance to win the game in this with a draw in this
came
spot,
up light.
and they just get it there.
Ooh. Having a look at it. Looks in from back here, but
Sure. The rings are off.
they're going to put a stick on it. Must be real close.
Slowing down. Okay.
Yeah, you never know. But the
Oh,
You go.
okay.
is convinced it's on. Okay,
Absolutely.
so that would have been a 2 for them, right?
It sure would put the score at 3-1 for Team Tuck, but
Well, it's
Team
not-
AULD
give
going to
more,
have
right?
the hammer when we come back in the 5th end.
Yeah, they're going to take a 5-minute
yeah.
break, and so will we.
Yeah. I was almost going to tell you to give me almost.
Welcome back to our feature game between Team Tuck and Team AULD. The score after 4 ends of play is 3-1 in favor of Team Tuck. So far, Rebecca, it's been a really great game. Close, lots of shots made.
Absolutely. Everyone's playing really well so far. It's been great to watch. Nice close game.
Even that last shot with Wayne threw his draw for 2, they pounded that and just barely got a biter.
Yeah, he's thanking his sweepers for that one. Absolutely.
Even Kim ended up in on that at the
Oh, yeah.
fresh arms.
Yes, exactly. So their lead, Sarah, starting us off here in the second half of this match.
Okay. Start.
There's a lot on the line here. You know, they any curler would love to represent their province at a national event, and this mixed side does. The seniors unfortunately stops at the provincial level, but it's fun to win that event too. I've won it 3 times on the senior mix, so I have 3 banners in my name. The Rideau Curling Club in Ottawa. So it's fun to be a champion.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, any banner has a special place in any player's heart. And when it leads to a national, that just means even more.
For sure, it's always been a dream of mine to compete at the national level. Keep trying. Our senior ladies team is we made it to the final of the provincials once, lost that final, but so it was close.
Such a great sport, though.
For all ages, you know, you can as small as you know, we've seen curlers that are under the age of 10, like 6, 8, 9 years old, starting curling with the Little Rocks program, right through to, you know, in their 80s. And if you can't get down in the hack anymore, you can curl with a stick. It's really a lifetime sport. I'll just quickly update the other scores here on sheet 1. Team Collier have taken a 1-point lead over Team Bowser, 2-1 there after 3. Oh, sorry, they're just posting the 4th end. And actually, my mistake, folks. It's Team Bowser that are up. They stole 2 in the 4th end. And now lead by a score of 4-1. Over on sheet 3, the game between Team Buke and Team Bolton. That score is 3-2 right now in favor of Team Buke. And over on sheet 4, our game between Team Villard and Team Hegstead. The Villard team are up by a score of 3-2 after 4 ends. So everybody's had their break. They're all just in the second half of this draw 2.
Yeah, a few close games going on here.
Perhaps a little bit closer than our first draw.
Yeah, it's nice to see everyone's getting a better handle on the ice conditions, getting their feet under them a little bit.
Or do you want to do this?
So they'll play 2 games a day till the completion of the round robin, and the schedule is set up that if there are any tiebreakers in this mixed event, they have some ice time. Although their banquet is probably on Saturday night, so if there's tiebreakers, it would be after the banquet, which is always a little unfortunate.
Yes.
But if it means making your way into the playoffs, the players will gladly do it.
Absolutely, yeah. Another will be another 9 p.m. game for them, but they're used to that.
Yeah, they're here to curl. They're not necessarily here to eat.
Yep.
Although the smell coming out of the kitchen this afternoon was awesome, and it sounds like they probably have a really good, real good cooking staff here.
I think so. Talked in that first game about the volunteers here at the club, and they have been so great so far today, and going to be a big part of helping put this whole event on for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, you can't do it without them. And any club that hosts these events, it's a tremendous amount of work, and you need people to step up.
Big sweep here from Brandon.
You know, that's the second time Lori's thrown that spot, and it's over curled on them. She was so close to making that double, but just over curled by a couple of inches.
Well, tight guard, like not way up there, right?
Having a little bit of discussion about the placement of this next rock.
Wes just looking for some clarification, I think. Wayne asking for tight guard. There is a little bit of a pocket there, but up two now. Team Tuck able to try and keep putting the pressure on.
Yeah, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, 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 no. Easy. It's over curling. Okay.
So about half of each of those rocks is available. I don't think she necessarily wants to go down to the back one because she would be behind the tee line.
Still fairly early in the end here. Second stone. So still going to try and remove some of these reds.
Whoa, that's a really nice shot. Just squeaked by and still ended up with an outside roll.
Yeah, wasn't sure if she was maybe going to kiss that other red, but just got the single.
I think if they'd hit it a hair higher, she would have made that double.
She was really close.
They pretty much swept it all the way, too, so.
Kim Tuck with her first stone now.
Whoa!
Trying to roll her shooter back underneath.
Whoa, yep! Yep! Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa!
The spot finishes really nicely.
Hers finished very nicely. She was just a little bit outside of that 4-foot line and got a lot more finish than Lori got with hers, throwing it on the inside of that path. There's even less of this available now. If he hits what he can see, he may make the double here.
Yeah, it's close again.
Whoa, yes! Whoa, whoa!
Don't really want to roll out, though.
Okay, that's fine. Sit. Good.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. And it's
just
gonna
hung on
spin
as a biter.
That's good.
Or you go this way. I know, but if you leave half open, they go here. If you leave half open this way, they got nothing.
Interesting thought process there.
Yeah, it is. The back one's still going to be open.
Rude.
And they never even considered hitting that little outside biter.
No.
He knows how much it floats out there.
Just thinking that it's kind of dangerous out there.
This is looking a little hot.
Would have liked to keep that in front of the tee line.
That's fine.
Making another little pocket back there.
I think we want to play this.
She plays that. It may jam on that other one.
You gotta throw 10 though. 10.
Fine. 14-2. Yeah. Fine. Thought I was going to grab a little more in the middle too.
So here Wayne talking to Kim about the draw weight. She just threw 14-2, and we were mentioning that that would be the elapsed time between the two hog lines. So that's just an indication of how keen this ice is.
Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Yes. Hard. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, we're this way.
They were trying to roll to the wing. Just got the nose though.
Hey, I like your...
So it is
Like
wide
board?
open for Wayne.
And it's sitting just behind the tee right now, so he's going to be in quite a nice position. It looks like Kathy's going to be forced to make a good shot, to either continue to, to hope for her two, or be forced to a single.
Yeah.
That center guard is going to, cause some issues.
Yep. Whoa, yep.
First stone here from Wayne
Whoa.
Tuck.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa.
It's such a tricky spot.
Hard on the roll.
Finishes so late.
It just sits there.
Yeah.
You almost have to be throwing that
Sorry,
hack
guys.
type of weight with more ice to get it to
I didn't throw
grab
great. I was gonna
anything.
take off. Yeah.
The other option is to play around the center guard.
Sorry, I didn't have a really good slide. I thought I kind of hooked it a hair.
Just 10.
So another update, actually on sheet 3, Team Buick have picked up another 2 and now lead Team Bolton by a score of 5-2.
Whoa, whoa. No, whoa. No. No. Close. Whoa, no.
She's going to roll out. Just needed to come up a little more.
Yeah. A little wide, I think.
Room down.
So now Team
that's
Tuck
good.
have a chance to draw around that center guard top 4, and it's really going to make it difficult for Team AULD to score.
Yeah, nice opportunity here for Team Tuck, looking to shrink that scoring zone right down.
And it was deep.
Force Kathy to draw the button.
Okay.
Wow, will she even be able to get to the button if he puts this in?
If he's right on the center line, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well then. Line's good. Line's good. Half in the 4. Room.
There it goes.
Looking
and,
really good.
It's going to
That's good,
over
that's
curl
good, that's
though.
good. Real
It
good.
still gives Kathy an opportunity to
guys.
draw for her single. I would have thought that he would have wanted to leave that a little,
Yeah.
blocking that path just a little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no gimme here. She just needs to draw. She does need to draw full 4.
Still reasonable, because that was like 15-1. Yeah. Okay, you need D-line.
So there's a number that we haven't heard yet, 15-1. She's just commenting on what Wayne's draw weight was. So that gives her a pretty good idea.
No, it wasn't.
And they swept that, maybe for the last 15 or 20 feet. So she knows that she probably has to throw a little bit more than that.
Last stone here in the 5th end from Kathy Auld. Needs full 4-foot.
Line's fine.
The
Yeah.
good news is she doesn't need to bury it or anything. She just needs full 4.
Hard. Hard. Gotta go, Lloyd. Hard. Gotta
Really
go.
curling.
No,
Gotta
Kim's fine.
go. Roll it in if you can. Okay.
Well, that's too bad.
Just needed
That
to go
really
deep
curled.
there, eh?
Yeah. So it's going to be a steal of 1.
What are you looking at? It's 1.
Steal of 1 there for Team Tuck. So they're going to take a 3-point lead now, 4-1. Team Auld will carry the hammer into the 6th end. Tough break there for Kathy.
It really curled. I think
Really
her weight was
curled.
close.
She was very close.
Okay. Okay. Well,
So Sarah Gatchell going to be starting us off again.
Line's good. Need help? You gotta go.
3-point lead now, just trying to bring this rock into the 4-foot.
here.
Nicely done.
And Kathy has really going to have to hope here for a little bit of offense here. That put up a corner guard,
Gotta go.
hopefully set up an opportunity to score 2.
Hard.
It's an interesting fact about Jess Beechard. He is a former professional baseball player.
Interesting.
He is a 4-time member of Team Canada Baseball.
Wow.
And his proudest moment was that he was the 2016 Ilderton Curling Club Men's Club Champion.
Awesome.
I love that.
Good for him.
It's pretty good for a guy that is watermelon seed spitting champion. Wonder if he knows that.
He's a man of many talents.
I'll have to tell him about that accomplishment that somebody volunteered on his behalf.
Yep. Room. Where? Okay, you gotta bring it in. Gotta be in. Hard. Hard, you gotta go. Hard. Go, 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 go. Okay.
Don't think that one quite came up as much as they thought it would, but Kathy just electing to freeze here to that rock, biting the top 4-foot.
She could have gone around her corner.
She could have. This one's wide open, so she might have been able to remove it later on.
Gotta go, guys. Hard.
It's going to end up corner frozen to the guard.
Just light.
It's the wrong side of the inch for Team Auld tonight.
Yeah, that
That's fine.
you could have tapped that red one in the house rather than come up light on that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to peel it?
Yeah, so definitely interested in getting rid of
You want to go
that
this way?
that corner guard. Just trying to figure out which way they want
I
to
don't
come
mind
at
that.
it.
Even if you stuff it, it's not the end of the world. It's like a third.
Wes Forget.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa.
This has got some heat on it.
He can throw a lot of weight.
Oof,
Okay.
almost took the one out in the house.
Yeah.
And
was
left a
close.
corner.
Yeah, kind of defeated the purpose a little bit, but
If you tap it a bit, that's okay.
still cleaned things up a little. Kathy's still electing for this freeze.
Well, it's better. It's covered now, so it's good to get a rock in position, perhaps here that they can bang later to get rid of the red one. So Laurie is a Ontario provincial champion, a national Scotties silver medalist, an Olympic trial silver medalist, and her proudest moment was receiving her Scotties ring.
I'm sure that would be a great moment.
She would like us to send a shout out to her husband Mike and her daughter Ashlyn.
You just peel it, or you can go here.
There was a couple members on Team Tuck that wanted to send a shout out to Jake Higgs as well.
Oh yeah?
Kim being one of them, and of course Sarah, his wife. So they say hi to Jake, and Sarah also wanted to say hi to their kids, Logan, who's 8, and Addison, who's 6. So hi guys, if you're watching.
Might be a bit late for them.
That's true.
Hard! Yep, I got it.
It's just going to rub off the guard.
Sit. Okay.
Can tap that. I don't mind that. That's probably the best
what do you do?
option.
You don't really have very many options.
Feel the guard goes.
This is pretty good, actually. If she taps it on the nose, she can leave the guard out front and remove the red rock that their corner froze into and have 2 of the rings.
Yeah.
That's the best possible outcome.
So where here?
So just checking in on the time clocks here. The Tuck team have used almost 2 minutes more than the AULD team at this point. So continuing with our updates on sheet 1, Team Bowser continued to lead Team Collier by a score of 4-2. And on sheet 3, Team Bolton have picked up a single and now trail Team Buke by a score of 5-3. And the score remains 3-2 over on sheet 4 for Team Villard as they blanked the 5th. So all the games are close out here, Rebecca.
Yeah. It's been a great night of curling all across the sheets.
Back here. Yeah. Okay.
So she didn't make the call shot, but it's not the worst. She didn't leave them in the worst situation here.
Hard! Hard! You gotta go! Hard, you gotta go! Hard, hard! Get the top, get. Yes. She sets it one on the straight spot, then she dumps it on the curly spot. Yes. Right.
It's a little bit of frustration by skip Wayne Tuck here. That's one of the dynamics of curling with your spouse.
I think so.
Okay. So like the same way, Lauren.
It was funny when they were at the trials and they were talking about the teams that were couples.
Yes.
Versus the teams that were just, two random.
It definitely makes a difference.
Apparently the couples didn't fare as well. So Brandon's going to come and have a look here. It's a crucial point in this game. I think they really need to score 2 here. They can't let this get away on them.
Well, yeah. I mean, the other option is you don't worry about this rock for now, and you push this one over here and this one here. Right? So it's like back we got to keep the shooter, we got to keep the rocks around. So back 12.
Yeah, so we're just going to listen in on.
Let's try that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's get some separation. So I think you only need probably like there, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Good discussion. You know, they talked about some options. It's a good discussion. They're talking about, you know, just trying to create some separation between these two frozen stones. Get another rock in the house that Wayne will have to deal with.
Exactly. One good thing, they do have kind of guards on both sides of the house they're trying to utilize, so they're hoping Brandon's shooter is going to roll close to the double corner guards there, and the one that's in the house already, they're going to push over towards the other guards. So try and create some separation.
So an interesting fact about Brandon is that he invented, and he puts in brackets, curling vision, which is a technology for tracking curling rocks. It measures the line of delivery.
Wow.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Yep. Yes. Just tick. Yep. Hard.
They're going to tick off the red one here.
That's not bad, actually. Good.
Yeah, so
kept
he's an
it
inventor.
buried.
Yeah. And
That's great.
He would like us to send a shout out to Derek Corbett, his brother and team
Try
member.
the thin double.
He curled with him for
Or you can try
16
that.
seasons.
Wow.
I don't think so. You only got 2 shots.
Wes coming
Like
down.
here. That's where you got to hit for the double.
I find you see that a lot in mixed curling. The two guys will
Yes.
line up the shot.
Or you
Yeah.
just want to throw normal so you don't. Okay, firm.
Wes had some shout outs he wanted to give as well to his mom, Lori, and his dad, Robert, as well as his club mixed team back at Cataraqui of Diane, Mike, Patty, Sandy, and Melissa. So hi to all those guys as well.
That's a big mixed team.
It is a big mixed team.
Curl. Cut.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Just got enough
Jeez.
of that
That'll work.
to get the side one, but has actually created an opportunity for Kathy to hit and roll buried here.
Yeah. We're gonna leave
Just
the
hit
double, though.
So
Just
close.
such a small piece of that.
Okay, just control.
Yeah, you got more. Yeah.
Whoa, no, no. You're gonna group them. Yep, yes. You gotta go. All right. I don't-
Kathy not wanting to set up a double.
Okay.
Yep. Just firm.
Gee, that was a really
But,
good, nice opportunity.
Yeah.
And now it's a pretty much a gimme double
Yeah.
here.
Okay. Just wide, yeah, a little wide. Yeah.
Just firm.
It picked. I think it picked.
You could.
Yeah. But you were probably
could.
the only
3/4.
back
That's what I'm throwing
for
firm.
it.
If we knows it, we knows it. But
Yeah.
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 Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, so he hits this on the nose. Most likely Kathy's going to ignore it and draw around the corner.
Hard. Hard. Whoa. You're okay. You're okay.
Right here. I think we got to come this way. So
Boy, she could have came around on this other side too.
Oh yeah.
Staggered guards.
That's fine.
And the weight out here, I think, should be good.
Doesn't matter.
This is a path we haven't seen at all that she's
It's an
drawing in.
interesting line.
Okay.
God, no. We can. I knew I could hit 3/4 on the outside.
I think the weight out here should be okay, eh?
Huh?
I am going to just make sure I've got positive rotation on it because of where we are. Not throw it soft at all. Okay. Get it in there.
Kathy AULD her first stone. Here in the 6th then, trying to draw around this guard.
Yep. Room, whoa. Whoa, room. Whoa, no. No.
Looks like she has nice weight.
Yeah, just hanging out there a bit.
No.
She would like us to send a shout out to her husband,
Yes,
Rob,
yes.
kids Courtney, Kayla, and Harrison.
It's in there. Yeah.
She's played in a lot of Ontario ladies provincials. She's
sure
there like she says over 10 on her list here. She also played in the Road to the Roar. And she's won several tour events. So pretty accomplished
Very
curler.
accomplished skip, yes. Ended up getting some nice finish on her last stone there.
Heavy down the center.
It is behind the tee line, so looks like Wayne's just trying to freeze to it.
Little fudgy in the middle. Yeah.
Here I'm asking about the center. So much sliding. Just asking if it's breaking down a bit and getting a bit slower in the center.
Well, as you said, that's where everyone slides out from, out of the hack, so oftentimes if part of the sheet is going to break down, it's usually that slide path that starts to break down first.
Easy. Weight only. Weight only.
Seems to be sliding pretty nicely here. I don't think he's going to get the finish he wants, though.
Yeah, just held it out there with the sweeping a bit too much early.
So it's a nice shot. I think
nice
it's
weight.
accessible, though.
Whether or not she can get it past her yellow.
Very that much of it.
Because even if I tick ours on the way by, it's not that bad. So I think like here with back line.
Well, I think when we stopped here, I was thinking it was back.
So we just heard Kathy say that she thinks she can get to
Back
nose.
line.
And if she throws back line, wait.
Yeah. Okay. Once we're by the guard, go on it. See if you can get it to bury in there a little bit.
So looking to score a deuce here. Final stone in the 6th end from Kathy AULD.
Yep. Yes. Hard. 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 Whoa.
Trying to get it by.
Whoa. Whoa.
Screaming as hard as she can.
Sweeping.
I think she's got it.
Go, 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 go.
Great shot. Really nice shot.
Very
Great
well
sweeping.
done.
Good team shot there for the deuce.
She certainly out-yells Brandon.
He does. Yes, absolutely. So that'll bring our score up to 4-3. It's coming within a single point of Team Tuck here, but Team Tuck's going to have the hammer playing the 7th end now. Good end there from Team AULD.
Well done. It skips deuce.
Yeah. They hung in there.
She got actually a nicer curl with her hack weight shot than Wayne got with his draw.
That's true, eh?
It's hard to figure out sometimes.
She does throw a pretty unique handle.
Yeah, it looks like
And,
it's going to bust, and
yeah.
then they manage to hold it.
Good.
Oh,
What do you
put a
like?
center guard here.
Here or here?
If they don't go around, Kathy will, so.
Certainly trying to beat her to the 4 foot now. Sarah with her first stone.
Line's okay. You got room. Make sure you're 8 foot though. Okay, line's good. You can go if you need to go. Heart right in. Gotta go.
Don't want to be a guard though.
Gotta go. 15-5. Okay.
Wow, 15-5. That's pretty light.
Yes. So just full 12 foot. Pretty high in the house, so Kathy's actually going to throw a second guard.
And they swept that like almost end to end, so.
Just didn't kick out quite hard enough.
Yep. Yes. Get some separation. Okay, whoa. Lori. Hard, Lori. Hard. Go. Good.
So that's a good guard. There's real nice separation between the two. Makes the double peel when they're able to a little more difficult.
Nice shot.
Wayne's going to just continue to draw around that, try and get one in a better position now.
Okay, line's good. Yep. Room. No.
Oh, geez, a little heavy on this one. Sometimes when you're a bit light on your first one, it's a little tough to adjust.
So now big shot coming up here for Lori. She can get one in the 4 foot here. It's going to force Team Tuck to clear out the front. So updating our other sheets, Team Bowser have taken another deuce and lead that game 6-2. And Team Buke are now up 7-3 over Team Bolton. And Team Villard have a 4-2 lead over Team Hegstead.
Okay, that's fine. I come down a lot. That's 13-6.
Wow, what a difference. So it went from a 15-5 to a 13-6. And her weight was back ring. She tapped that other one, so.
Yep.
Ooh,
almost. Hey, the double feel.
Just missed it.
Okay. If he wants to throw it that hard, one of you guys is going to catch it. Here, Lori.
So she gets another chance here to sink one in. Top 4 would be really, really good.
Whoa. Stay with it. Yes! Yes! Hard! 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 Whoa. Yep. Gotta get by the rest.
Oh my goodness, that was
Wow,
a squeaker.
That was close. Nice shot.
It's funny because she called them off and then she said we got to get by, but
Exactly. They were sweeping hard at the beginning and then she let them off and that was real
almost
close.
ticked.
Yep.
So Team Tuck need to continue with their house cleaning here.
Okay, good. Real good.
Nudge
the-
that red over too.
Yeah, that took away the protection from that red one was kind of guarding those
It
yellows.
was. It's a good shot.
So Team AULD need to put up a guard here.
Brandon.
They need this guard to stop on the center line, but they don't want it too long.
Yeah, it's a
gonna be
little bit
very long.
light. May have over curled just a bit.
It opens up the top one for sure.
Board. Board.
Well, actually, from the hack, she looks like she's got about half from the hack, eh?
At least a thick half, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing nice board weight at it.
Whoa.
Indication is that she's thrown it up a bit. And this is a spot that's very unforgiving.
Whoa, close. Whoa.
Starting to come back a bit.
Yep. Hard. Hard.
Ooh,
Oh, they got it by
Wow.
nicely.
Real good.
They leave the two yellows sitting at the back of the forefoot, but they now control the top of the forefoot. And there is a danger that if they make a play on this, that they could jam on those yellow ones in the back.
Think you gotta throw board. The other option is to play that. I think that's easier though. Just board.
It's difficult to cross the face here. Which is pretty much what she has to do to make the shot that Kathy's calling. Sorry, pretty much what he has to do.
yes.
Sorry about that, Brandon.
It does finish quite a bit at the end here, but gonna have to play this very close.
Hard. Whoa, whoa.
Now there is a gap between those two back yellows.
Whoa. Okay, that's fine. Good.
Well, that leaves yellow sitting two.
That's fine.
That top one is partly undercover. Well, actually, it's well
Pretty
undercover.
well buried, actually.
Good shot. I think she thought he was a little full when he let it go and called him off, and it made its move, and suddenly it's just a perfect shot.
Go good this way. Hit and roll here is good. If you straight peel, it's good too.
So it looks like we have our first final here. A game on sheet one is over, and Team Bowser have defeated Team Collier. And actually, we have another final over on sheet four. Team Villard have defeated Team Hegstad.
Okay, roll it, Sarah.
They must have taken a huge end because it was only a 2-point lead.
That's good.
Yeah, they must have stolen some more points. Kim's putting
Oh,
it
they're
up here.
posting it. Yeah, they stole a big three.
So 7-2 the final over there.
Shot.
Guard the stick.
Just a straight peel from Kim back here on our sheet.
Coming down, eh?
So another guard here. It's going to be the call for Team AULD. You know, this in our afternoon game, our feature sheet was a really close game, and in fact went to an extra, and all the other sheets had finished, and it looks like we're trending towards that again.
We're in for another close one here too, I think.
And the game on sheet three is lopsided and could end at any moment as well.
That's fine.
Yes! Yes! Hard! Gotta go!
You need to get that to center, and they did.
Nicely done.
That's the way you gotta throw those.
Let me play this now.
That is the shot stone that he's indicating they make a play on.
I don't know how else to do
And they have a 1-point lead, so I think scoring here is really important to be 2 up coming home without the hammers.
Go ahead and on this one?
He will be behind the tee line,
Yeah,
but
try to
I
pull the field,
think
then
he
look at
has
three on my
to.
lap, right? She's not throwing the guard again.
This is a spot where we've seen some rocks run straight and some finish, so we'll see what this one holds.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Yep, yep, yep. Hard!
There it goes.
Whoa!
Well done.
Very nice shot.
That was the call, and he made it perfectly. Now
Well
this,
done.
We're only going to give up one or get one, right?
this is a spot where they got caught when she was drawing for
No, you're good.
Yes.
in the
You're
fifth
right.
end. And it over curled on her, so hopefully she's made that adjustment and will take enough ice to get by that rock that's in the full 8 foot.
Port's actually probably tighter than it looks because the finish is so late.
Make this. She makes the freeze. The worst I can do is give up one, which is fine by me. Right? We have two.
Whoa. Whoa.
Kathy's final stone here in the 7th.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, it's hanging out there on her.
Whoa. Stay with it. Yes! Oh, we lost it.
Oh, no.
Tough one. It was a hair heavy, so maybe didn't anticipate it was going to cut that much. Just tick that top yellow one.
Boy, from the hog line in, it curled to amazing amount. This is an opportunity now for the Tuck team that were in trouble for most of the end to get a
Yes.
deuce. Be another Skip's deuce.
Yeah.
Oh, Skips, I'll tell you.
Speed's about the same. Okay.
He's actually drawing here. So maybe
Back
just
12.
heavy draw.
Just needs to nudge that
Hard, Wes.
yellow far
Hard.
enough back.
Hard! 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 Hard!
It's really
They
close.
do have to move it.
Whoa! Whoa! Great brush, guys.
Great
Well
shot. That was a really precise shot. Executed it perfectly. Well done by Wayne Tuck. So they'll get their 2 there in the 7th end to take a 6-3 lead. Team AULD's going to have to score 3 with the hammer here in the final end in order to force an extra. Wow, what a great shot.
Yeah, Kathy has to be disappointed that they missed the sweeping call on hers because she was there. She was frozen to the back one, looking like she was going to either steal one or force Team Tuck to
Yes.
one. So she has to be disappointed with that outcome.
Line's good.
Up 3 coming home. I'm surprised he's not throwing it through.
Line's good.
Yeah, each skip kind of has their own threshold, I think, of when they decide to throw it through the rings.
Great brush, Wes.
Well done there by Sarah. But you're right, Barb. Some skips definitely would.
Yeah, because
Go
if
through
the other
there.
team puts 2 corners, then you can peel. Up
It's a
2
thing
coming home is
sometimes-
different. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes that this rock in the house now might get in your way a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Gonna see this rock go through the rings.
Yeah, because rocks and clay are not his friend right now.
Not really necessary in order to keep Team AULD from scoring 3.
Well, they're playing the 8th end. Both teams are okay for time. They're both in the 3-minute range, so they should be fine. Still important for the players to be ready and in the hack, so that if it does come down to a discussion point further on in the end, at least they'll have the time to have those conversations.
It's always nice to have a little bit extra time in the 8th end banked to have those conversations, especially Team AULD here down a few. Gonna probably have to try a few interesting things here.
Yeah, if you just get the single, it's fine.
So we have another final here. It looks like Team Buke have defeated Team Bolton. Let's see if they're going to post the final score.
Yep. Yep. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Okay.
The attempt at the double peel on our sheet was close. They did get the single peel.
Right here. Right.
So the final score for Team Buke was 8-3 in their favor. So.
Take a look. On it.
You got third? Even less. Third or less.
So another shot here at the double peel.
Yep. Yep. Heart. I got it.
Ooh,
It's really not what he wanted.
Okay.
not quite.
And I never said yours.
There was just a bit of reference there to when they throw those big weight peels about, how, the team that's throwing them should be, one of them should be catching those rocks that
Yeah,
are flying.
Sarah didn't even sweep that stone, so always have to be aware.
And Kathy was just pointing out that,
Hey, good.
it's not her responsibility to be stopping their stones that are going 100 miles an hour.
Try that. You just peel this, it's fine.
So they just want to continue to eliminate these guards out front.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Wow, that is actually like floating out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
Hard.
Oof.
Hard.
got just enough of it.
Okay.
Not sure if she got that out a bit on her release or still made the single peel. It's a good shot there from Kim.
Kathy's going to have to go around this corner guard. needing 3 to tie. It's pretty tall order with only 1 guard. Not impossible. She did indicate that she wants it deep, so there's room for. Not that Wayne's going to leave this guard out there.
Just gives her room to keep her rocks as far apart from each other as possible also.
Firm. Just a hair less than half a rock. Third rock.
So Team AULD quickly running out of rocks here.
Kim gonna attempt the double on these 2 yellows.
Yep. Yep.
This is a spot that we've seen curl.
Yes.
Real hard.
Don't want to jam it.
Roll it on top. Okay.
It's gonna roll off the top.
I think she has to go around the corner again. But even a biter now is good.
Yes. Again, if she groups those 2 close together, Wayne might have a run double, so she can kind of keep these 3 rocks in a bit of a line.
Whoa, no line this time. You gotta go around. Yep. Yes.
Timeout is being called here by Team Tuck. So let's listen in here and see what they have to say.
Hitting it. I just stick around. I don't really care. Just hit it. I don't care. Just get rid of it.
I think he wants to hit it, Barb.
I think you're right.
Normal? It's normal. It's not terrible if I can get a hair roll your way.
Again, just trying to eliminate these Team AULD stones. Just Kathy's 2 rocks remaining, and they have to try and generate 3, so just trying to make the yellow ones go away.
I was surprised he didn't try the double there.
It was there.
Timeout here.
Timeout from Team AULD now as well.
Not quite sure why Team Tuck called a timeout.
They're not doing too bad on time.
Okay, we're going to listen into this conversation.
You mean here? Yeah. Because I can't hit and roll. Yeah. The only thing I'm thinking is if we're here, oh, it doesn't matter, and he guards, then we have that. Yeah. Just it's so hard where this is, right? To get it perfect and not set up something. Yeah. Huh? Oh, I don't think you can play that. I got to be out here. Well, I was here to make the 1 to the 4. I mean, we could try it. You like that? I don't mind this.
Okay, so some interesting observations there. I guess from the hack that yellow rock is buried, and if they freeze to the top to the red one, she made mention of the fact that if Wayne puts a guard on it, I highly doubt that he's going to put a guard on anything.
Me as well. She it's very hard for her to make this shot and him not be able to pick it off, or make some sort of double. Even if he doubled his red out, it really doesn't matter.
It has to be so perfect.
Whoa, whoa. No line. Line's great now.
The line's really good.
Line's perfect.
That's pretty
darn
nice.
close. Nice throw.
Looks like they're going to take their second of their 2 timeouts. They have 2 minutes.
No more.
Okay, so I think there's a double here.
I think so too. It's very close. He can just come off that top yellow into that other yellow. He doesn't really need to worry about removing the frozen stone. If he can make the double with his shooter onto that other yellow that's buried.
Eliminating either one of these rocks is game over.
Exactly.
Well, there you go.
He can remove both of them. That works too. Nice shot there from Wayne. So it'll be Team Tuck over Team AULD here in our second draw of play. Very nice game from both teams. They both played really well. Really interesting to watch.
Absolutely. So that concludes our coverage of this afternoon's game. Please join us again tomorrow at 1 p.m. for our live coverage of Draw 3. Our feature game will be the teams Dave Collier taking on John Bolton. So on behalf of Rebecca and myself and the entire TSL crew, thank you for joining us. We can wave to the camera.